just see. Let me flip it and see if I don't. Hello. Hi. Thank you guys all for joining. Okay, so I'm Banke, the author. I'm a new author, a new wife, a new professor, and a new entrepreneur. If you know me, you know I love God and I love my people. Let me tell you guys how busy the enemy can be. So I am doing a thank you tour. I am here at In Control. I'm interviewing one of my favorite people in the city of Rochester, Lamar Powell. We just did a dope-ass 20-minute interview, and why did it not record? So this is why I told you guys about spiritual warfare going on the offensive, but you guys need to hear him. So we're going to actually run it back. Hey, Brandy. Thank you guys for joining. Hey, Alexandria. Thank you so much for inviting followers. I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you for double tapping the screen to give me hearts. Like I said, we just did this amazing recording that did not go up at all. So I really need y'all encouragement because I got to run it back. Okay. So, and this is going to be like Groundhog's Day, right?
Right. Hey man, artists never do it the same way.
Artists never do it the same way. So I have known Lamar Powell of In Control for about 7 years. I met him originally at School Without Walls because at the time, and I don't know if you still have, if y'all still do Roots, but what they would do is they would push into schools, him and his partner, Chris Cuby, they would push into schools, black men. I can't wait for y'all to see Powell because you're going to be like, oh, okay, he the right person for the job. So they would push into these schools and they would really just pour into these young men. Now, as an educator, I've been in this field for 11 years. I can say as a woman, there are just certain things that I can't say to these young men. They need other men to model things for them. And so one of the students that we had in common, Jaquan, I would tell him certain stuff. And he'd be like, yeah, okay. And then, hey, my natural right, thanks for coming back. And then Lamar Powell would tell him the same thing, and he would come and be like, Ma, Powell said, and I'd just be like, wow, I just said that same shit, right, 20 times. Powell said it one time, and he really heard him. So that's one of the things I've always admired about Powell is that his straightforward nature really speaks to the heart of our young men, and I have seen firsthand how he has been able to reach these men, right? Reach these men and help them with their development. So when I was, thank you. I appreciate that. So when I was starting the Always Want More journey, we had this huge release here in my hometown of Rochester, New York. I love Black people. I write about our current experiences, but I am very invested in my hometown. And I feel like focusing on my city gives me a way to really show my influence. It's small enough that I can really make a difference, make an impact, you know? So I wanted to have this event called A Night of Hood Elegance. Because, if you know me, I'm a little hood. And elegant, right. So I wanted to have a very dope event that everybody would feel comfortable with, but would be upscale and which would really celebrate Rochester. So I had this whole vision. So I had my little cousin make a Prezi for me. So, Prezi's is like a PowerPoint on steroids. So people could see exactly how it was going to be. And I needed that to really motivate my team so that we could shake down sponsorship money. We could really put together an event that would make the whole city of Rochester proud. So I needed a place to host my vision meeting. So of course I hit Powell, because they're right in the heart of the city, right in the heart of the hood, right in the heart of the need. And that's where I need to be. So I said, well, can I use your conference room? He said, okay, no problem. I got the projector. Boom, boom, boom. Cool. Okay. So I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to dazzle people and really get them on board. How many people showed up to the vision meeting? 0. And this was the first step of the process to raise the $3,500 necessary in order to have an event of that caliber and be affordable. Because French Quarter catered it, it was 6 courses. Everybody got a book, and we did that for $25. And so sponsorship money was key. So I'm at In Control, and I had this whole thing planned out, ready to go, and nobody shows up. So Powell walks in, and he's like, what you doing? So I explained to him real quick. He's like, you know what? I'm your first sponsor. Sign me up for the platinum joint. And it was just, And that's what God will do. He will put the right people in your path when you are really trying to do something for his people. He'll put the right people in your path to keep you pushing. And thank you guys so much for all of the hearts. And so I just want to ask you guys, wherever you are, what is one of the teen programs that you really support? In Rochester, New York, and I'm not afraid to say this, In Control is the illest, it is the best, it is the most consistent. They are really meeting the needs of the young folks. And so, without further ado, let me give you guys Lamar Powell.
So sweet.
And thank you for rocking with me, brother, doing this again.
Yeah.
So I got to ask one of the questions again. What sets apart In Control from the other programs here in Rochester?
It's a lot, but we keep it real. And by keeping it real, I mean we honest. We honest in everything we do. Whether it's telling somebody something good or telling somebody bad, and everything we move with, we keep it honest and we keep it real. So that's how we separate. And you know what? We're not scared to work with a lot of the young people that's on the streets, that's out there. Right here at 470 West Main Street, a few years ago, they had a lot of issues with a lot of the gang members and all of those kind of things. And everybody was walking around and nobody was working with them. So, we went ahead and worked with them and started doing a lot of stuff. So we keep it real and we keep it honest.
Brandy said In Control is awesome. The clinic was invaluable in the late 1999, early 2000 area.
Oh, yeah. We got rid of the clinic. But we didn't get rid of it. We just kind of moved it. But it's not here in this building. But yeah, I do remember that. Yep. That's what's up.
So you've been doing this work with In Control for how long?
I don't know. I've been involved with it probably 17, 18 years, but I've been really pushing it for about over 14, 15 maybe. Yeah.
Alexandria said the clinic was dope. And these are women in my age group. So,
Good.
I have made a lasting impression on people. And again, I apologize for the redundancy, but, we running it back.
That's all right.
So she said, OMG, we are getting old. Yeah, girl. But Powell looked the same.
Hey, y'all getting old.
How did you get in this field of, this line of business?
Like I said before, the devil tried to come on up in here. I'm originally from Connecticut, and in Connecticut I was a basketball star. I had Division I scholarships, but in the process of that came popularity, and I got kind of involved. I did. It ain't kind of. I was involved in the streets and everything that go with it, from selling drugs to doing a whole lot of stuff I shouldn't have really been doing, but it is what it is. Anyways, I lost my scholarship offer. I didn't pass the SAT. Not doing too well in school, so I was really in the streets real hard at this particular time. And a guy put a gun to my head, the back of my head. He thought I was somebody else. Had on a red cap. He thought I was somebody else. I thought he was going to shoot me. He didn't shoot me. I was nervous. But at the time, I went back to my house, moms and them, and I was like, I got to get out of Connecticut. I got to just get away from what I'm doing. So I ended up going up to Syracuse Junior College, spoke to a coach, went up in there, had an apartment, kind of did the same thing. Actually, I went up in there, was doing the same street thing. It was actually easier. Because in Connecticut and close to New York, it was just easier upstate. But anyways, long story short, because there's a lot that go involved in that, I ended up going to CUCA, got kicked out of CUCA College, was kind of nowhere to go. Mom didn't want me to go back to Connecticut because of just what I was involved in. And it was a professor up there, the only black professor up there, Dr. Rifkin. God bless her soul, she passed away. She kind of brought me in her office and broke me down. She had me crying, said I had a calling on my life, I'm wasting it, X, Y, and Z. We wrote an appeal letter. I got back into school with her support. She helped guide me through it. I ended up moving to Rochester with some dudes, just not to go back to Connecticut. I don't have any family here as far as cousins, uncles, aunts, none of that. And I said, you know what, I really want to help some young people out that was kind of going through what I'm going through since I've been blessed. And I've been in the field ever since. So that's the long story, hopefully short.
No, I appreciate the detail in that story, though. Brandy said, what are you taking? Because you haven't aged. But maybe it's because you're doing the work that you love.
The young people, they make me laugh. So...
I think and I really appreciate you being specific as far as saying it was Professor Rifkin who got you on the right path. Yeah. Because I think 20 years from now, when somebody is interviewing the next Lamar Powell and asking them, your name is going to come up, you know? And I think it's very important for us to celebrate those who are really doing this work because none of us are where we are by ourselves.
That's right.
What are some of the programs that you are the most proud of that In Control puts on?
Music development program, video production, experiential learning, and basically what that is, we get a lot of the young men doing drywalling, landscaping, lawnmower, painting, graphics, photography. But what these programs, we don't want the young people. This will separate us too from these other clown programs in Rochester.
Preach.
Okay. Instead of just saying you're gonna go do music and go, everybody want to be a rapper and you go in the studio and do music. We actually teaching these young people how to own their stuff. How do you own your own business? When you do video production, how do you own your own filming company? When you're doing photography and graphics, how do you own it? So we'll teach them how to get their DBA, LLC. I mean, the list goes on. If you really like partying, we're gonna teach you how to be the promoter. So that's the difference. Example right here in Rochester, like JK Productions, they came through Rochester. I mean, they came through the In Control program. You know, we help Icon Photography come through the program. You know, and the list kind of goes on. And these is young people that's actually got their own business doing what they like to do. So I'm really proud of those kind of things that's going on with the program.
Right. We actually used JK for a night of hood elegance, so it all ties together.
And let me tell you about JK real quick. JK would come in here and all he would do was get on the Mac computer. And everybody was coming in and saying he need to get a job. All he wanted to do is play on that Mac computer. So I went up to him and he said, I don't want to work at McDonald's. I said, what you want to do? He said, I want to do music. I said, well, we're going to have to figure out how you can do music and make money. Right now, he one of the hottest producers in the rock.
The hottest.
Yup. He DJing. He making a living. He not asking nobody for no money. He got his own business. He producing beats. He's selling beats. And them beats going to be national. Trust me when I tell you.
Yes, they
are.
So
that's just a quick example of the skill set that a lot of these young people got. And a lot of these adults in these cities and these other programs is saying, go work over here at Walmart. Go work over. And I'm not knocking all that, but I'm saying we got to teach these young people your skill set can be a career.
And one thing about JK that I really appreciate, and I'm sure that you have modeled this for him, he gives back.
Yep.
Like he still will DJ a school dance if you ask him to. Like he's a very humble dude and he has not forgotten where he's from. And Absolutely. I'm sure your influence in his life plays a part in that.
Yep.
So we're talking about the different businesses that you have helped establish. I feel like Rochester is in the midst of a revival. And of course, my phone wants to start dying now. The devil is so busy. Do you have a charger for a Galaxy? He gonna figure that thing out. Let me just flip it back for a second. Brandy, thank you so much for your comments. Yes, like Powell has been around for so long that many of us feel like he's from here, but he's not. And he has such a passion for our community that it's really refreshing to see. I just needed to take a second. My man needed to second. We're going to get this charger going.
See if that works for you.
Yep.
We're going to move back. Does that work for you? Is the charger?
All right, get it. Nope, it doesn't fit.
Should be for Droid, right?
Yeah. There we go. Thank you. And we're going to keep this thing pimping like that. Yeah, it is. Thank you, guys. Oh, cool. Let me just push this chair back.
Did it come up?
Nope, we're still going.
All right, good.
Let me just push the chair back, though, so I can be closer to the charger. Thank you guys so much for your patience. You know how this thing goes. It's very impromptu, but it's always authentic. It is always real. And let me slide it this way so I can try to... Bam! Still out this thing. Okay, I'm going to push the camera back. Don't laugh at me. We making it do what it do, though. So we are in the midst of a revival in Rochester. People of all walks of life are understanding that we have to come together to save our city. I feel like it's a spiritual revival. I feel like it's a cultural revival. It's a revival of Black people understanding that Black people got to look out for Black people. For those people who are kind of on the outside looking in, they're seeing the dropout rate, they're seeing the homicide rate, and they want to help. What is your advice for those people?
Number one, we got to stop complaining. Complaining not going to get us anywhere. And number two, we got to stop being judgmental. So I think those are the two things that we really got to start doing. Stop complaining, stop being judgmental. And then each individual person got to think about what is that one or two skill set that we can offer to the community and to the young people and to adults. So we don't need to do everything. We just got to think about what is our skill set and then what can we offer. That's where we got to start, and we got to come together. We got to really stop hating on one another, because that trickles down to the young people and the other adults, and nothing happens. There's too much complaining going on, and we talking about being attacked, spiritual attack, and it's so true. And the devil attacking, there's no complaining there. The enemy move. Enemy don't stop and complain. The enemy move. And that we got to do the same thing. It's too much uncertainty in this city. It's too much uncertainty. We got to be certain and believe in what we do. And I know we always say this, but you got to be willing to die for that thing. Change come with sacrifice. So that's what I would say for those that really want to get involved. And I'm with it. I'm so with it. I'm ready to really come together with a group of people and see what we can do.
What can we do? For anybody who's watching this, I'm going to put it up on YouTube as well. How can we support your program here at In Control, 470 West Main Street?
You could come and see me, or you could call me, and then we'll talk and chop it up, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Because there's no one cookie cutter movement for one individual. So what I might say, how one individual can help, and I can help, and they can help me, might be totally different from another person.
And I love this, the personalized way you guys do everything. Earlier you said how all the programming here is driven by the teens themselves.
Yes.
Can you speak on that again?
Yeah, one of the things that really separate us from a lot of the programs, not just in Rochester, because I do got to say this, and I am very humble and proud, but we were actually recognized as one of the top 11 programs in the entire country.
All right now.
And we were the only program from New York State. So that's not me saying it. That's what the accolades were. And people came and watched us for a whole month. And it came out. But one of the key elements is the young people actually run the program. They create the programs. They run the programs. It's them. We give them power. We empower them to do that. Basically, what I do and my team do, we kind of manage it and guide them. So we want to empower these young people to believe in their skill sets and their talents. So yeah, that's one of the things that separate us.
All right, we'll flip it back. All right, again, I'm Bonke, the author, new wife, new professor, and new entrepreneur. My novel, Always Want More, has sold nearly 1,000 copies in the first year. Thank you. And the support of my village, my team, my city has gotten me in this position. Often we use negative language. People have always said, Black people don't do this. We crabs in a barrel. That has not been my experience at all. 96% of the support that I have gotten on this project has been Black. 96% of that support has come from the city of Rochester. And so that's why I'm very harsh on anybody who talks negatively about my city, because words have power. Yes. I speak life to my city, and my city speaks that life right back to me. And so let me flip it again. But I really believe in giving people their flowers while they can smell them, So I just have to say again that you are my favorite youth advocate in this city. I believe in this program. I have seen firsthand the young men that you have helped, one of them being one of my favorite students of all time. I'm not even going to say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. And he used to be posted up on this block. And just seeing what you guys do is what brought him in here. You saved that young man's life, and I truly mean that. And I can't even tell you how many others. And I was so discouraged when I came and nobody showed up for my meeting. But God placed me here so that you could be the first sponsor. And so when you list the businesses that you help get out there, please make sure you put Concrete Rose Publications on that list, because I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in without all of your support.
Thanks. Wow, that's good to hear.
That's real. All right.
I don't get it often, so thank you.
You're welcome. So stay strong, keep doing what you do, and if you need anything, this is what I do. I tell the stories of my people, so in any way that I can use that skill set for the betterment of In Control, just let me know.
Cool.
Any last words for the people?
Let's stay consistent, y'all. Stay the course. It's going to work out. I believe it.
All right, so we'll flip it back one last time. I shared with you guys earlier that I watched a documentary at the Little last night about the Black Panther Party, and something that it was so fucking dope. Something that you just said, you have to be willing to die for this thing. You ask yourself, what are the things that you're really willing to die for? I'm willing to die for my faith, and I'm willing to die for my people. But more importantly, I'm willing to live for them as well. Yeah. So let's all stay strong. Let's encourage each other. Make sure that you are thanking the people around you, and make sure that you are saluting those people regardless of title or credential, because the people who are really in the trenches are those who will never receive an award. All right? I'm Banke, the author, new wife, new entrepreneur, and new professor. I hope to have the same influence on my students as Professor Rifkin had on you. I love Black people, I love Christ, and I love my city. All right? So make sure that you guys follow me. Thank you for sharing the broadcast. These are the things that I share. I just try to share my journey to encourage as many other people. All right? Thank you so much for all the hearts, guys, and thank you for your patience as we had some technical difficulties. Love you, and God bless.